So we are going to make some jewelry today. How is everyone doing? Hi, Karen. Thanks for letting me know. I I don't know why I had two shows scheduled, but it's a situation, right? We're good. So thank you, love. I figured we could make some earrings, play with some of the new beads that we got in Tucson. I have a cup of hot tea. If you have any requests for anything for me to show you how to make, please feel free to pop them in the chat because we're just going to be playing today. I don't know why I'm enthralled with these beads so much, but I think it's just the sparkliness of them maybe is getting me. I don't know. But hi, Lynn. Lynn, you really got to stop with that. It was completely misunderstood by new people and did not go over well. Please stop. Yeah, not cool. Not cool. All right, so we're going to just make some basic earrings to start off. If there's anything that you would like to see, please let me know. I'd be happy to grab it. For now, I'm just going to do some basic loops. Hi, Miss Jules. It's a whole thing. All right, so we have some head pins. We have some eye pins. Have a little bag of 4mm daisy spacers. I have all of this stuff for sale. If you are interested, bookmark my Wednesday Bead and Finding show. I need some smaller beads to go with this. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to start out and just put a small 4mm daisy spacer at the end of each one of my head pins. And what this does is it just gives it a little more security because not all beads have the same size hole, and I do not want my head pins to pull through. See how that just kind of ensures that that bead is not going anywhere. Set these off to the side. I have all kinds of projects going on. I have an in-person coming up next weekend and the weekend after. Hi, Maple. How are you, love? We're going to make some earrings because, sounds like a good thing to do. How was your pizza? It's kind of funny. The kids, I had pizza for lunch as well, which is kind of weird for me because I don't normally eat pizza, but they ran to town and got some pizza, so that's what we had. It's a whole thing. Fallen food coma, I know, right? These are some fun little connectors that I got when we were in Tucson, and I think I want to play with those. And what else do we want to play with? I need another crystal that will go with this. Oh, you know what would look cute with those, maybe? Maybe. Let's see. Some aventurine? Nope. That's not going to work. What about these? Now we're getting somewhere. Let me grab that strand of beads. those would work. We could do that. And some silver spacers. We got this. Yeah, it is raining at my house. Rob just came home from the valley and said it was sunny down there, but it's cold and rainy here. I don't like it. My body doesn't like it. Okay. So we got this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put one of the daisies on top of this just to make sure that it is hooked together well. And I'm going to do just a basic wrapped loop. Let me turn this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So when you do a basic wrapped loop, what you want to do is make sure that your plier is right up against where you are making the loop. I'm going to bend it over at a 90-degree angle. And then I am going to take my round nose and I'm going to grab a hold of it at the part that is going out. And I'm going to fit those round nose pliers right inside of there. You want to hold your bead and push that up and over to where you have something like this. Reposition your plier and keep going. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of try to turn that. You're fine, Karen. Enjoy your dinner. I'm fine. I'm not going to stay on very long, so don't worry about it. I just wanted to make a couple of pairs of earrings and then I might go live in the art room later. I'm not sure. Haven't really decided yet. It doesn't want to move. My hands aren't working today because it's raining. So we're going to grab a pair of pliers and make it go. Ba-da-da. There we go. Go where I want you to, please. So there's our little loop. Why is this not working? Because I'm live. It's been a whole thing with me this week. Every time I go live, nothing works. So this is what you're aiming for. I want to pull that a little bit tighter. So to pull it tighter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this loop here. And I'm going to get a hold of the end of this. And I'm going to give counter pressure and make sure that my loop is actually rounded. So because I want to use this connector, I'm going to slide it on that loop. You may have to open it up a little bit. And you just want to open it side to side. I'm going to slide that down onto there. And then I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to wrap this around. It's basic, simple wrap. And when you wrap this, what it does is it ensures that that is all going to stay on there. Welcome in, everyone. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Sky High. How are you? We're just making some jewelry today. There we go. Get a better grip on that. Coral Lee, how are you? Oh my goodness. Guys, it's raining here and my hands just don't want to work today. I almost just rescheduled the show and then I'm like, nah, I'll just go make a couple pairs of earrings. So here we are. So see how that has secured that on there? So once you do that, you want to take your flush cutters and you want to use the flat side of your flush cutters up against your component. I'm holding this piece so it doesn't go flying, and I'm going to snip that off. And then I want to take my little pliers and I'm going to tuck that piece in to make sure that there isn't anything in there that is going to poke anybody when they're wearing these. And then we're just going to repeat it on the other side. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I just totally dumped everything off my head pin. So I started out with a head pin. I have a 4mm daisy, a crystal. Hello, Lovey. How are you? All right, Karen, have a fabulous dinner. Have some fish for me, babe. So you have this. Again, we're going to take our plier. I'm going to hold this up against as tight as I can. I'm holding my bead steady and I'm bending this at a 90-degree angle. Once I have that bent at a 90-degree angle, I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to grab a hold of the piece that's jogging out. Again, I'm going to hold my bead so it's steady, and then I want to just push this up and around over my round nose so it creates that circle. And you're just going to kind of release and go to the top and just continue on past there. So I'm going to, these are stainless steel head pins, so they're really rough to work with when your hands are not wanting to work. But so we have that ring there. To match the other one, I'm going to put another one of these little spacers on. Connectors is basically what they are. Hi, Jill. How are you doing, love? I'm on the struggle bus today, so just ignore any mistakes I make, please. We're going to close that up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hold that circle so it maintains its integrity while I do the wrapping with another pair of pliers. And I usually hold that in my non-dominant hand and then do my wraps with this. How are you doing today, Jill? We're just going to wrap this around like we did the other one. Now, if you find your wraps are not straight, you can actually adjust them as you go and make sure that they're right up against each other. I can't get. You were making some pretty jewelry, though. I love the ones that you were sending me. So we're going to go past a little bit and back out. Then we're going to take our flesh cutter. Again, I'm going to hold this so it doesn't go flying. I'm going to snip that as close as I can. Maybe. There we go. And then I'm going to take, no wraps, right? Wraps are hard. Wonderland, hi, how are you? And I'm just going to tuck that in. So now we have two pieces for this pair of earrings that we're trying really hard not to ruin. Hello, hello, how are you today? I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. Alrighty then. Didn't want to show how dysfunctional they are. Good. I love watching my friends craft. Nice. I don't know how long we're going to be crafting, but here we are. I'm on the struggle bus today because it's raining, and my arthritis and rain are not friends. They're just not friends at all. So I think what we're going to do, let me get some of this stuff out of my way, is probably grab one of these light greens. I just want to make sure, yeah, those are going to match. Maybe even a darker tone. We'll see. So let's see what we have here. These are some of the beads that I got in Tucson. I will have them available for purchase on Wednesday in the Beads and Findings show. Hi, Judy. How are you today, babe? We're just playing. Athena, hello. Afternoon, babe. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing. Okay, I'm okay. I'm whining because it's raining, and arthritis and rain are not friends. But good. Just wanted to at least show up because now, see, laying down there, I don't like how those match. We're gonna do those. Those are better. Okay. That's how it has been this week. So much pain. Athena getting rain tomorrow. I'm definitely fighting. Yeah, it's just not. It's not pleasant. But we're going live thrifting tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Before we go thrifting, I'm actually going to pick up a bead buyout that I'm doing. So looking forward to that. I'm buying it solely off of the pictures, so we'll see. We shall see. So I'm going to grab a couple of eye pens. Again, I'm going to throw a couple of the 4mm daisy spacers on our beads. So do I. Rob and I were talking about it, and we've got 2 weeks of in-person back to back. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to handle not thrifting for 2 weeks. And he's like, well, maybe we can go after the show Saturday. And I'm like, okay, I can handle that. So tomorrow is going to be regular time. And then after that, we're going to probably have to do it later. So for these, I'm just going to do a simple loop. And when you do a simple loop, you want to be up against your bead and then pull back just a little bit so you have a little bit of movement in your beads. And what you want to do is bend that over to the side. And then I am going to take this, and I'm going to be exhausted. And then I'm going to cut this. My perfect length is at the edge of my finger. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to set that down. I'm keeping that piece I just cut off, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Again, I want to pull back a little bit from those beads, bend it over. And then this time, instead of measuring with my finger, I'm going to cut the same length so my earrings are going to match. So I have cut the same amount off of that pin, so I know that they're going to be the same size and they will hang correctly. Hi, Becca. Hi, Tiny Black Barn. Hi, Happy Heart. How are you doing? I'm holding this steady. You do not want your eye pin sticking out. You want it flush with your plier, and then you're just going to roll it. And you just roll and release until that hits the wire where you started. Just make sure that it's completely closed. And then we're going to do the same with the other one. Hello, friends. How are you? Kells Resells. Hi, how are you? We're just making some earrings today. Doing something really simple. We did some wrapped loops. Now we're doing some basic loops. Nothing extravagant. Just need to get some earrings made for an in-person I have coming up next weekend. So double duty. Now, pay attention to what I just did there. I adjusted it, and just because your loop does not come out perfect doesn't mean that you can't adjust it. You always have the ability. Now, granted, if you juggle your wire around way too much, it's going to get work hardened and then it's going to get brittle and then it will break. And that's something that you need to pay attention to. But for the purposes of this, get your loops how you want them before you put everything together. So we have that. We're going to just grab some ear wires, which I know I have somewheres. Critter Chops, hi, how are you? We were spamming you in my show the other day because I was telling everybody about your watercolors. And I'm doing okay. Yeah, hanging in there. Yeah, it's a standard answer. It's all good. So there, we just made some little sparkly green earrings. Yay! Easy peasy, right? It's a whole thing. So let's show. They're just really easy, basic earrings. All good. So, does anybody have, oh, I just hit the camera. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tiny Blackburn. It's just these basic, simple earrings actually sell so well for me at in-persons. Um, and I have one next weekend. So I'm trying to get stuff together for that. And thought I would just come on and make a couple of basic earrings instead of rescheduling my show yet again. So I'm going to put them directly on the card. I have started when I'm making stuff. I try to do a basics tutorial at least once a month. And I mean, obviously it's over on my YouTube channel, but it's just, we're going to run them because that's what I have to do. It's a whole deal. It's important for people that are buying all of these beads from us. These are running, to know what to do with them. And it's frustrating to spend money and not know the basics, because then you're wasting your money. So I try to make sure that there's always a basics tutorial available to people that buy beads. Um, it's just a situation for sure, Sensei. Yes. So I have a whole pile of earrings going over here if anybody would like to see some of them. These are just some basic wire wrap ones I did. Um, these are some Caribbean calcite. These are some vintage check leaves. Blue lace agate. What are these? Oh, these are moonstone with some rose gold. So we just made those. I'm trying to see. These kinds of things are 29 wood. This my bin. Critter chops. They're in your bin. Oh, that's amazing. So now I can just direct people to your bin. That makes me a very happy camper. Thank you. I know that's a pain in your tush. Um, these are just some copper wire ones. This is some basic wire wrapping that I've been doing. So yeah, I have a whole pile of them over here. So we're just working on them, doing our thing. It's a situation. Hi Maria, how are you? Hi Nina. Welcome everybody. We're playing with some beads that I got in Tucson because critter chops, you don't need to tip me for that. Thank you. I appreciate you. No, it is all about supporting each other on here, because if we don't support each other, what are we even doing with our time? I guess I'm in a green mood. What do you think? I really want to play with these though. You just got home. It's been raining here all day, so it's yucky outside. But alas, here we are. These are, I really like these. We need to create something with these. I don't know what yet. I have all the stuff here for making earrings, so I guess we'll start with some earrings and maybe pivot over to a bracelet. We'll see. Incredible. Yeah. We have a in person. I literally have in person scheduled next weekend and the weekend after. So I have it's going to be busy couple of weeks. Um, Rob and I are going live thrifting tomorrow, and then I'll get everything shipped out Monday, and then Tuesday supposed to be doing the art room sale. Wednesday's beads and findings, and I will drop everything off at the post office Thursday on the way to set up for the in-person on Thursday, and then the show is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's what my next week looks like. Carmen's Craft Corner, thank you so much for the raid. Did you have an awesome show? Vera, welcome. Custom Wood Burning, hello love, how are you today? We're just making some earrings. It was good. Awesome. Right? Mm. So, Carmen, this is funny. We were just talking. Critter Chops is in here. Critter Chops actually makes handmade watercolors and demos it on the app frequently. And I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Um, but he just told me that he has his watercolors listed in his bin now. So you don't have to go to his show. You can just go grab them. And I will say that I've been watercoloring for about 30 plus years. And his watercolors are some of my favorites that I've ever played with. So maybe go check those out. Yeah. Like I actually tried mixing some of because he doesn't have all the colors. And I tried mixing it with some of my other watercolors. And the only watercolors that I have that actually pigment saturation was equal to his was my Daniel Smith ones. So they're on the level of Daniel Smith. So go check them out. They're they're pretty good. I tried to mix them with my Winsor and Newton ones and it didn't play nice. But they played beautifully with my Daniel Smith, so that kind of gives you an idea of where they're at. Um, but they're fun, and it's fun watching him make it. I do. I host Artisan Creative Train, and it is the second Tuesday of every month, and I'm going to be sending out signups this weekend for next month. Yes, at Critter Chops. Um, I don't know if he's still in here. He was. There you go. There. Yeah. He's fun. We're going to make earrings. That's what we're doing. Hi, Marie. How are you, honey? Um, Another way you can make loops is with a one-step looper. Um, this is kind of my go-to when my hands don't want to work, when it's acting a fool. Hi there, love. And the thing with using this tool is you really have to go slow. It's generally a love-hate relationship with it. Some people love it. Thank you. I'm, you know what? I'm going to do something because I'm 99. Yes, I'm following you. Just want to make sure. Like 99% sure of, oh, wait, am I actually following you? Has everyone given Carmen's Craft Corner a follow that's in here? If not, please, pretty please go give her a follow. She creates beautiful things. All right, we got that. Do this again. This is basic. Throw this stuff together, you guys. But they work really well. They sell very well in my in-persons. And just did and saving so much you want. I know, right? Well, that's not going to work. The holes in these are very interesting. It's a good word. They're interesting. Can't even hold on to a daisy spacer. Hmm, maybe. Those are going to be a little bit long, but I think we'll be okay. Thank you, Carmen. I it's just something I've been doing for a bazillion years. You know, when you've done something for so long, it just kind of you go on autopilot and make it. That's kind of where we're at here. Not my favorite, but it'll work. I think I want something different in the middle there. Um, I have these fun little saucer type beads. Hi, Reba. How are you, love? Beth's Boutique of Baubles and Bling. Welcome. Say that 3 times fast if you can. I'm doing okay. I'm whining because it's raining. And you know, I hate to say old ladies, but those of us who are experiencing the joys of changing over into another venture in life, our bodies are very unhappy with rain. I think that one's going to do us. It beats the crap out of snow, Kathy. I agree 100%. Although it's snowing north of here. Yeah, it's craziness. It's snowing north of here. We usually get snow at our house once or twice a year. And like, y'all just, you keep your cold, don't come south. But the cold is like creeping further and further south. So we'll see what happens. I'm not holding my breath, but I don't want snow this weekend. Got too much to do. Rob works down in the valley in Phoenix, and he said it was bright and sunny down there. And I was like, oh, well, I'm a little jealous. But we don't have all of the nonsense of the city here either. So we're about an hour north of there. So an hour north is like our elevation is like 1,000 or 1,200 feet higher than Phoenix. So we do get snow. We're about 10 degrees, 10 to 15 degrees cooler than there, depending upon the time of year. So it's like a whole situation. Okay. I just read your custom wood burning. Well put. I mean, I could have just said moving into your crone era, but people would be like, huh? These are 21 gauge, but they're stainless steel. I don't have the bandwidth to explain that today. It was easier to come up with an off the cuff answer than to just explain that. How bad is that? It's funny. So there we have ear wires. Coming into your crone era, my friends. I've been in that era for quite some time, but that's a whole nother situation. What? Okay, we'll fix that another time. Not today. What era are you missing? Um, the crone era. It's basically when you hit menopause and all of the changes that come with it, and people fight it and people complain about it, and do all the things, but at the end of the day, what you have to look at is when you hit that point in life, you've lived a full life, you've gained so much knowledge and um bad teeth era needing crowns. Yeah, you know, I don't have a choice with that. My cancer treatments fried my teeth, so I'm I deal with it because I'm alive, and that's a better alternative. Crazy old gray-haired women who don't have a filter anymore. Ma'am, I didn't have a filter when I started. Who's got a filter? There's filter? What's that? Right? There's no filter. I never had a filter. It's worse. The thing with it is you hit a point where you're like, I'm gonna be authentically myself, and if you are offended by me being authentically myself, um, no, it's Sammy, Kathy. Just thought I'd point that out. I'd answer for her and save her from typing. Yeah, that's it. You're not my people. If you can't handle my bluntness, I'm sorry. I've hurt your feeling, and I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not a mean person. I'm a very kind and loving person. I just don't see the point in I don't if I have to watch what I say around people for fear of how they're going to think of me, they're not my people. Yeah, that's where you're at, Reba, right there. You're you for you. It's a beautiful thing in life. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Aventurine earrings. Let's run them and move along. Gracious, what? Not 30 seconds. There you go. So these are running aventurine earrings. They're fun. Thank you. Thank you for taking a look at those. Oh, we need a label. Uh, I'm labeling as I go for the in-person. It's something that I've started doing, and it makes my prep work for in-persons so much easier and quicker because I'm not having to scramble for prices and labels and all the things. Um, so if you can, have your labels pre-done, card them and price them as you go, and it makes life so much easier when you get ready for your shows. That's my tip for the day. All right, next we go. Um, let's do a couple more with this before we put them away. We're just going to get these all off of here. I hate these plastic things. So annoying. Noted. Yeah. I print out full sheets of labels for all of my stones. And I just have a notebook beside me that whenever I go to create, if I buy a new stone, I create a label for it. And that's what I put on my jewelry. So, just saying. Let's get some more head pins. Ooh, let's do some gold. Do a gold one. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We're just making some earrings. Something really simple today, but also something very necessary because I have 2 back-to-back shows coming up and need to work on getting stuff made. I could be more proactive. Pre-made labels, logos would be smart. Yeah, I put my logo on it, and then I put the stone and then what it's used for metaphysically. So when they buy this, they have my label, they have my email. Reba, over organized jewelry creator. I have to be organized because my ADHD brain would just be frozen and I wouldn't get anything done. So I try to spend, towards the beginning of the month, I try to spend at least one day just doing like labels, bags, that kind of stuff. And then obviously I'm way far behind because we just got back from Tucson, but usually when I get new stone that I don't have labels made for, I always make a label so it's in my notebook. My desk is like that, but my labeling system, because if it's not labeled, I can't find it. If you could see my bead desk right now, because you got this like little pretty pristine space. Yes, it's admin day, and I have to shut my phone off or it doesn't get done, because I will legit spend the day on the phone. Yeah, you get to see this pretty little clean space right here. The rest of my desk looks like a feral raccoon was looking for something. Not kidding. It's bad. Like right this second, I've lost my glasses. Show you. Feral crafting. Oh my God, are you kidding me right now? It is like a hot freaking mess. Show me the mess. You guys, you have no idea. It's ridiculous. Those are too big. Some gold daisy spacers. Why can't I find them? Oh yeah, I just told you why I can't find them. Because my thing's a hot mess. You really want to see this disaster? Sounds like you and your, oh gosh, we don't want to talk about my art. Okay, here, I'll take you out of the camera. I'll take you out of the holder and I'll show you. Make you feel better. Okay, let me try not to fling you around. Let me scooch back. I can't believe I'm doing this. So this is what you're looking at. This is all the bags, all the stuff. That's where I just got the labels from, is in this notebook. I do have stuff beside me labeled. Like, I have to have labeled stuff. This is all my sterling silver stuff in there. I do have beads up on the wall. Rob built me a pegboard up on the wall. That's finished jewelry ready to go to the in-person. That's sales stuff. Those are more beads. And then this is the other side. There's my hot tea. There's my cool mug that Robin made me. Pens, all the things, tools, the basket of beads that I'm working out of. And then Underneath my desk is all the totes, and this is all the stuff that's for sale. So there, you got a oh, and then there's the this is the wall of the beads for sale. They're numbered. It's legit. It's pretty organized. And then there's my bracelet things to take to the in-person next week. So all of those are for sale. If anybody needs pretty beads, come see me on Wednesday. These are the ones that are just close to me that I often grab. But yeah, and then this is the pile of earrings that we've been making is here. That's my pretty light I got in Tucson. What do I do with the rest of the beads when you cut a strand to make something? They're right here. I throw them in bags. I throw them in bags, and let me flip around the other way. I'm showing you back here. And then they go in drawers based on size. And then over here is another set of drawers where I keep stuff. So as long as I have it in, and I'm going to show you guys this. I can't believe I'm getting ready to show you guys this. This is all my Swarovski crystals. Well, part of my Swarovski crystals in those little containers. So I don't know. It's a hot mess, but it works for my brain. You saw a video of crystal bathtubs at the Tucson show. Yeah. One of my favorite vendors, they have a labradorite bathtub that's like 6 feet long. It's beautiful. It's crazy beautiful. Okay, what did I miss in chat? I'm going to go back. Carol's in here talking smack to me because she knows how much of a mess I am. You're making that your phrase for day one of the 100-day project. What phrase? The feral raccoon rummaging through my beads. I'm the raccoon. Oh my God, turn it off. You're showing my room. Looks better than your area. It is a whole store, Maple. Pile's not up to my armpits. You got room to be more feral. To be fair, I cleaned it all off for the bead show on Wednesday. So today's Friday. So that's 2 days of feral craziness. Does anyone else have if it isn't out where I can see it, I forget about it? Oh my gosh, Carol, all the time. I answered Kathy's question. I throw them in baggies. One thing I will say though is if they're let me see if I have one. Probably not near me. If they're bigger beads, I will sometimes just re-knot it so it stays on the strand, so I don't want them to hit up against each other in a bag. And that's when they get hung up on the wall. Read up. I did. Get out of your room. I put irate away and poof, I forget I even have it. You put it away. Yeah. It is so overwhelming trying to organize, Kathy. Yes. Did you see some lavender gold small beads hanging up? Probably. Feral crafting. It's, yeah. Man. Oh, you mean on the pegboard? Probably. I did get some really awesome lavenders when we were in Tucson. Let's see if I can get to them. I got the disco balls in lavender when we were in Tucson. I got them in 8 and 10 millimeter. Is that what you were talking about? You organize again, and repeat constantly. Um, I don't know. I would have to get up and go look. I don't see any lavender gold, but it doesn't mean because the lights are in my eyeballs. The ombre strand. Oh, I got you. It's one of them is lavender, peach, and whites, and then the other one is lavender, pink, and yellow and whites. Yeah, I have them in 2 different colorways. I know what you're talking about. Here, hold on. I'm just gonna pop you out of here. You're talking about those. Let me get off my butt. These are the lavender, pink, and yellows. And then these are the lavender peaches. Yeah. So I have these in 8s and 10s. And then I only have these in 6s left. I sold all the 8s and 10s already. So, but those, yeah. And then I like the pink and the greens a lot. And of course the butterflies. Ooh, we should make some better. No, we're not. We're making stone jewelry today, Tamara. Back to the jewelry. Um, Honestly, babe, I don't remember. I think they're. Oh, I want to say they're like $6 or $7 a strand. Around there. I'll text you when I get done with this. It would be very bad taste if I sell findings. Right. I am supposed to be the point of contact for this event, and one of the first things is no sales. So here we are. But I will reach out to you. We're going to make some gold earrings. That's what we're going to do right now, my friends. I know. It's fine, babe. When have I ever been good about following rules? I'm not going to sell anything. I'm just saying, but you know, it's a situation. So we're going to do this again, but this time we're going to do with gold. I'm just taking a regular head pin, putting a 4 millimeter daisy spacer on it. We're going to grab some of this aventurine, string that on, and if I can find the hole, I would string it on much easier. We're going to see what kind of gold spacers we have in here. I need something to dump these into. So we could use, what could we do? I know I forget to, Carol. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Tamika won't kill me today. There's a lot of rounds in here. Little floral beads would work. There's some little floral beads on there. And then I want just some plain rounds for the top part. Ooh, wait. So this is I was doing a project and I had a bunch of gold beads out and I dumped them all in a bag. And this is me kicking myself in the butt for dumping them all in a little bag. That's what happens. There we go. Okay, let's close that so we don't drop it. So back to what we were doing. Let's grab this. So there's one part. I don't know why I'm making long dangly earrings. I guess it's just a thing, right? So we're going to throw another daisy up there, another daisy here. So if we do those, so for the top part, we're just going to throw these on. Put this little spacer at top. Very rarely, Kathy, do I do the same earrings over and over again. There's a couple that I do kind of on repeat just because they sell so well. Um, the teapot earrings, I sell a lot of those at the in-persons. So I will just, it's literally just this on an ear wire. Occasionally I'll put a stone, a smaller stone there, but this is just something that's a good seller and I do very frequently. Um, this is a new one that I got. So, thank you. So it's just, it's kind of one of those things of where I'm going because the show that we're doing the next 2 weeks is a gem and mineral show. So, like, there's not even a point in making check glass jewelry. Um, they literally just they drop it like they've picked up a dirty diaper. It's kind of funny. It's really funny to watch knowing how popular check glass is in like the whatnot world and to go to an in-person show and have the people at the gym show pick up a bracelet or something and like, "Oh, this is really pretty. What is this?" And I'm like, "It's vintage Czech glass." And they just like drop it. They're like, "Oh, it's glass. What stones do you have?" So it's a very different environment that's kind of entertaining sometimes with the snobbery. If it doesn't have natural stone, it's not going to sell. And I'm like, "Ma'am, you just dropped $60 worth of Czech glass. Are you kidding me right now?" They don't care. It's junk to them because the earth didn't make it. So you kind of have to know your audience, I guess, is the thing. Um, I know, right? I'm like, "Ma'am, no." But it was a learning experience for me because I never thought about it because I mean, I've been beading for so many years and I thought I was doing a good thing by making jewelry out of my vintage Czech glass, and I found that it was just a waste of time because they want nothing to do with it. Um, It's entertaining. I will say that they are entertaining. It's a thing. I mean, that would be like going to a Native American market where they're selling all turquoise jewelry and try to sell a quartz bracelet. They're like, yeah, no, that's not happening. We don't want that. So it's a situation. Um, but the good thing about making natural stone jewelry for the in person is you sell them for much more. Um, it's like the aventurine earrings. I can sell these for 20, $30 if I wanted to. Whereas on Whatnot, they'd pay 10, 15. So it's paying attention. And if I had the same design with check glass on Whatnot, I could sell them for 30 and they wouldn't pay me $5 for them on the in person. So it's just knowing your audience, knowing where you're at, your location. They're weirdos. I know. I These people, I mean, most of the people they're like rock hounders. They're old hippies. I mean, I fit right in, right? I get to spend the weekend with a bunch of old hippies. It makes my heart happy. I'm not gonna lie. But their taste in things is very different than what we're used to in our Whatnot world. Okay, so again, when you're hooking this all together, you want to take your circle, your loop, you want to open it side to side. You're going to hook that on and you're going to close it side to side. Same with the other one. Open it side to side. Hook your other one on. Close it side to side. Same situation with your ear wires. Open side to side. String it on. Close it side to side. Open. String it on. Close. There we go. Another pair of earrings done. Easy peasy. Does anybody have any questions? Anything you would like to see? I am working on some leather wrap bracelets. I'm almost finished with one that I was working on earlier today. Um, and I just need to finish it up, finish off the knots on it. I will have it available. Well, I probably won't. It'll probably sell next weekend, but I'll show it probably next week. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. So we're going to grab a sticker. Oh my gosh. Don't spill your tea. Did you get your good news? I did, Maria. It's awesome. Did I not respond? You guys, I read messages at 1 o'clock in the morning and I tell myself I'm going to answer people the next morning, and then it's like straight out of my brain. You're my friend. You should know this by now. It's a situation in my brain. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're going to find somebody to raid into this. Right? I forget. Um, let's see who's on the handmade market. Oh, look, Mary's on. That makes life so easy. I got to see Mary in Tucson and got to spend the whole day with her and hug her, and it was so much fun. So, just saying. All right. Thank you all for hanging out with me. We're going to go see what Mary's up to. Um, I'm sure she has amazing jewelry because she always does. And she's only got 2 people over there. So, thank you all for hanging. Let's go show Mary some love. Much love to each and every one of you. And I will see you tomorrow for live thrifting. Have a blessed rest of your day.